Wednesday, November 19th in the St. Louis area. We are Arch City Now. I'm Vic Faust, producer Rye alongside, getting you up every morning, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. What's happening in your neck of the woods? Glad you guys are with us. Like, subscribe, share the show. Let us know everything that's happening in your neck of the woods. We appreciate it when you guys are here, when you guys are talking to us about the things that are happening, of course, in your life. All right, lots to get to today. If you want to, you can give us a call as always, 855-282-8255. Once again, that's 855-282-8255. As always, we are your Lou information station. We're live and on demand at louinfo.com. We have lots of good stories again today, lots of headlines. You know what we do? It's all things St. Louis all the time. Whatever you guys want to talk about, if there's a shout out that needs to happen, you let us know. If there's something else that's happening with a charity event that's coming up, is there a dinner? Is there a restaurant or a bar doing something this weekend? Anything you guys do, let us know. We're here for you guys, and we appreciate when you jump in. All right, one big happy family from that standpoint. I also staying positive today. Staying positive, regardless of what I saw happen with the Blues. That's right. We'll get into that. Okay. Coming up, we'll talk about the St. Louis Blues. You know, it is what it is. They lost again last night. What would it be without some drama from St. Louis City? And nothing positive, always negative. Yeah, the trial that could permanently remove the St. Louis sheriff. Yeah, from his office. Yeah, well, he wasn't even present in court yesterday. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. He didn't even show up. They couldn't get him there. Welcome to the Lou, where dysfunction and all kinds of crazy drama seem to happen day in, day out. Okay. Then, I don't know how this happens, but a vehicle crashed right into the Mattress Firm store in Brentwood overnight. Yeah, it just happened a couple hours ago. That's down there on South Brentwood Boulevard. I'm like, I saw it happen. I just prayed everybody's all right. It's just, how is that even possible? Driver apparently lost control before crashing into the store. One person sustained minor injuries after the crash. It's like, okay, here we go. There was an adult arrested in that crazy homemade DIY fertilizer bomb. There's a guy now, an adult, that's been arrested for working with 3 juveniles to detonate that. It's just insane. Some of these things are happening. College football playoffs, the pairings, the top 25 was released last night. Don't think there's a lot of surprises there. Missouri and Illinois on there. We'll tell you where they are at the end of the top 25. If you didn't know already, but more than a third of the homes in the St. Louis metro area have lost their value over the past year, just in the past year. Things are, that's not where you want to see. Taco Bell did a competition where they did their first ever fan style contest. Customers submitted their own fan-made spins on their menu items. And a Missourian is in the top 3. She's going to see her creation go nationwide. It's kind of a big deal. People who eat Taco Bell. All we do is we know her name is Sandra, and she joined somebody from Michigan and Kentucky. And all we know is she's from Missouri. We don't know the specific spot of where she is from. At least I couldn't tell. Rawlings, of course, calls Westport Plaza home. Rawlings Baseball, right? Of course, you know that, the Rawlings brand. They're going to put a gold glove on top of Westport Plaza. Be kind of cool. A massive gold glove. We'll talk about that too. And St. Louis County, we've talked about before, is in an $82 million budget hole. Now they're trying to figure out how they're going to take care of that. how they got in the problem in the first place. I don't know how. All I know is if the county executive or who's ever running any county, if you don't have a strong business degree background, you probably don't have any business running the county. I'm sorry, you just don't. You have to, I mean, I look at what's happening in the city and I'm like, or in the county, and I'm like, are you kidding me? There's so much great should be happening in St. Louis County from a business aspect. And it's just not when you compare other cities of size and means across the country. So much more should be happening in St. Louis County. And it's just not as of now. Just some of the things that we're looking at to get into today. Of course, you guys can also jump in. Let us know what you guys have going on. Anything else we should be talking about. Also, another story I thought there was an NFL story that NFL refs are ruining the TV experience. Do you guys agree with that from the NFL? I don't know. We can get into that situation as well if you guys want to. Then we also have, where's the other things here? I was looking, you guys can go into X, Facebook, and YouTube. That's where you can join us. We are up on X again today, correct, sir?
Yes, sir. We are back on X.
Okay, good. Because I know we had some issues there yesterday, which was interesting, but it wasn't our issue. That was a cloud issue in the entire area, believe it or not. Just bizarre when you have some of those things happening. But we're here. It is 6:15. Weather today around 59, 60. Supposed to be a dry Wednesday. Could have some more rain tomorrow, but not today. Also, Explore St. Louis, I think, does a pretty good job. They really do. They're trying to help in the city. They have now decided to scrap some plans. They had an outdoor plaza plan for America Center, the convention complex, but now they're just going to keep it a parking lot. Another story that we'll be talking about from that standpoint. So there are a lot of stories, a lot of things St. Louis related that are going on, and we appreciate it once again when you guys let people know about what we're doing. I had a friend of mine contact me yesterday. He's like, hey, I didn't know you guys did this St. Louis show in the morning from 6 to 8. I was like, yeah, there you go. So let people know. Somebody had told him about it. If you like what we do, we appreciate it. Let people know. That's how we continue to get bigger and do everything that we can when we're here today. Producer Rise alongside. Anything new in your world these days? I didn't ask you yesterday how things are happening in your world, or if anything is happening.
Nothing really. Just everything's been smooth, man. I do have to get my car fixed. Not like fixed, but I need to get my car cleaned out. I just got an oil change and stuff because I know it's going to get cold.
Oh, yeah, it's coming.
You know, so just trying to keep ahead of everything. So nothing really.
Isn't it fun? Isn't it fun doing all this stuff, this car stuff, as winter comes in?
Yeah.
Because we know we're going to get hit soon.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. The weather's been pretty nice.
And I'm finally trying to be a responsible adult. So I'm trying to get ahead of it before, I got to get an oil change and it's 10 degrees outside. So.
No kidding. Oh, no. I understand. I do get it. We've had very nice weather, comfortable when it comes to the temperatures. That's for sure. So, not too shabby there. It is 6:16 on this Wednesday morning. Glad you guys are with us. Also, when it comes to Mizzou football, Eli Drinkwitz, I think he was the most adamant that he has been yesterday in his presser, talking about staying at Missouri. He gave me indications that felt like he is not looking to go anywhere yesterday. I know people lie. I don't know if this guy's going to. I don't see it. I don't. I think he and his agent have used wherever they could to get as much money they can out of Missouri. I don't see him leaving. Yesterday before his presser, I thought he would be. Now I don't. I just don't see it happening where he's going to find a situation that puts him in a better spot than where he is right now at the University of Missouri. So I know a lot of Missouri fans were wondering if any of those things would happen. If it's, I just don't see it. I don't see it yet. I don't. And a lot of these coaches make you wonder. And it's a weird time because they have to finish the seasons that they're currently in as well. Also, Motley Crue is going to be touring in 2026. They do have a St. Louis spot. August 19th, Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, Motley Crue. So they'll be in St. Louis. A lot of acts touring in 2026. We continue to talk and tell you about those that are coming to the city or coming to the area. So I don't know what's happening there. Also, I thought this was an interesting story, especially for my young bud producer over here. More and more people in their 50s now are getting laid off and or fired. Have you seen that? Performance or skill misalignment.
Oh, I did hear a lot.
Jobs are evolving.
Yeah.
Employers making clear that employee skill set never aligns, doesn't align anymore with current demands. Higher compensation costs. Usually, if you're older, you cost more and you've been around. I've seen that happen for years. I saw that happen in the TV industry for many decades. Maybe age-related bias or stereotypes, limited mobility, flexibility, health and physical considerations. Anyway, those are some of the. I saw that come down. I was like, oh, okay. People in their 50s, really? All right. Just got to be careful about that. That's for sure. Okay. This is another. Okay, hold on a second. I wanted to see this here. I'm curious. Did you see the playoffs last night? Did you see any of that yet? I know you're slammed working your tail off.
No.
Well, LeBron came back.
Oh yeah, I did know LeBron came back.
Yeah, they had 140 points in their game last night. The Lakers did. For people who care, I was like, damn, 140 points.
I don't know who won though.
Yeah, I haven't looked at that yet either. I do know that the Pistons won, the hottest team in the NBA, maybe the best team in the NBA. It blows my mind. They're 13-2.
Okay, it's pretty early in the season,
but I'm 13-2.
Young guys are playing hard.
I know. Who's better than the Pistons right now?
Oh, right now,
who? I don't know. They've won.
Thunder.
They've won 11 straight games.
I got the Thunder.
Okay. Yeah. You went real far out on a limb on that one.
Yeah, I got the Thunder. Not that far out, but they're the best team in the league.
I can't argue. I know. I'm just saying it's amazing to see the Pistons with an 11-game win streak right now. Or is it a 12-game win streak right now? They're rolling. Absolutely rolling right now.
Wait, LeBron had 11 points?
Yeah, it was his first game back. It was his first game back with Lake. I mean,
that's the GOAT. He should have like at least 15.
But he's older though now, man.
I don't care if he's
50. His back's all out. And he's coming back. I mean,
at least he got 10. If he would have got 9. I would have been mad. I would have been like, all right, Austin Reeves, you're shooting too much. Got to get the GOAT some shots.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, 12 assists though. That's my point.
Well, there he is. He's dishing the rock. We'll give him that. It's all good, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
He can fit in.
He got that out. Also, we'll go over some of the high school football matchups for the state of Missouri that are coming up this week. For example, in Class 3, Lift for Life in a downtown charter school. Coach Tony play at Dexter. That's a local team. In Class 4, you've got Sullivan out at Festus. Parkway North at St. Mary's. That'll be a really big game Friday night at 6:30. That'd be fun to watch. I may go watch that. On Parkway North at St. Mary's.
You should.
That would be I think it's going to be a really, really, really good game. In Class 5 this Saturday, Kirkwood's playing out at Farmington. Then you have Fort Zumwalt North at Cardinal Ritter. And then in Class 6, you've got CBC. They're playing at Jackson. Don't know if people want to head down to Jackson for that. But then you've also got Fort Zumwalt West at Pattonville. Or excuse me, no, they did it backwards. No, that should be. Yeah, Fort Zumwalt West at I think it's at West. I'll have to check that, see where we are. And then Elias at next up. Anyway, so you got some local teams still in the hunt when it comes to high school football. And of course, districts were all set. Now they're moving on to get into state titles. It's 6:23. We're glad you're with us this morning. Going to be a cloudy, gray day. Sun's normally up by now, isn't it?
Yeah, usually.
And it seems really dark outside, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Yeah, just still dark. The weather, trying to get used to everything that's still happening when it comes to, I don't know. I don't know when it comes to this daylight saving time, still trying to get used to it and everything that we've been dealing with. So anyway, that's that. We're here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Hot Take Central 2.0 follows us. I need to talk to Cam today because they were in Toronto last night. Ty Domi used to fight a lot. I don't know if Cam ever had a fight with Ty Domi. Ty Domi's son plays for Toronto now. And he's not a fighter. His dad was. Small guy, too. Really good fighter. And he did it for a long time. How about this? Where is the city or the top 10 cities that people in America are moving to in 2026? How about this? Number one, according to the moving forecast here, movebuddha.com or movebuddha.com, Knoxville, Tennessee leads the nation in projected in-migration with an estimated 1.61 newcomers arriving for each resident who leaves. That's higher into out of ratio than any other city analyzed. Knoxville, Tennessee.
What's out in what college is in Knoxville? I know there's a
UT, University of Tennessee.
Right? All right.
You got the mountain backdrop there. It's a beautiful place. It really is. I thought this was interesting too. The forecast derived from Move Buddha's moving cost calculator data collected from 2019 through 2025. It rounds out the top 5 with, how about this? Tulsa, Vancouver, Washington, Savannah, Georgia, and Tucson, Arizona. They combine job prospects, educational anchors, affordable living, all without the congestion, at least right now, found in major metros. How about this in the top 10? And it all makes sense, and from what I've seen. You got Tempe, Arizona. Pretty nice. Frisco, Texas, very nice. Raleigh, North Carolina, very nice. St. Paul, Minnesota, and then Virginia Beach, Virginia. Rounding out the top 10 of where people are moving, as opposed to the amount of people who are leaving out of that area. Interesting. Very, very interesting for sure. November 19th, it's 6:27. Still to come, we'll get into the blues from last night. Definitely get into the blues from that standpoint. Anything else you guys have going on this Wednesday morning? Grateful from that standpoint. Also, if there's anything that you guys want to promote, let us know. Anybody that needs to be shouted out, we'll do that. It's all about you guys jumping in from that standpoint. and anything else. We could take you till 8 o'clock. That's for sure. By the way, it is a Wednesday, which means that you have us till 8 o'clock. Hot Take Central 2.0 is from 8 to 10 with Cam Jansen, the former Blue and Cardinals broadcaster, Jim the Cat Hayes. And then from 10 to 11 today is the MIZ STL show with Grant Salzman, Brendan Schaefer. Certainly some information to talk about when it comes to Eli Drinkwitz' press conference from yesterday to give people an idea of what's happening with Mizzou and Eli and money and the starting quarterback. If Bo Prabula is healthy, he's the starting quarterback. But I don't think he's going to be healthy for the OU game. Not enough to play. And I hope they don't run him out there. And I hope he doesn't try to run out there and do that. Please, please don't do that. So it is what it is. Okay, guys, we appreciate you jumping in here. When we come back, we'll jump into the Blues. What's going on with the Blues? They lose their first game of their 5-game road trip. They looked really good in the second, third period. They dropped the game. They did pick up a point, which was good. But in the end, it's not a win. It's a loss. And that's unfortunate. Okay. We are Arch City Now. Producer Rise alongside. I'm Vic Faust. We are your Lure information station, and we're live and on demand at lueinfo.com. We'll be right back after this. Hey guys, you ever lie to yourself until you feel good, you have energy? You believe in that philosophy? Coaches will tell you that the body's a resilient thing. Do you know what I'm talking about, Producer Rye? Do you just try to convince yourself, hey, I feel great. I have lots of energy. I feel good.
And
We
you
have
really
those
don't.
days, and we don't. I'm convincing myself of that today. Not sick. Just felt like I'm all like discombobulated. Walked in, I spilled my coffee not once, twice. I spilled it all over the table. That was the first time. I've never been confused with anybody with grace, that's for sure. So it wasn't enough that we had to put the show back about a minute because I spilled coffee all over the desk. Went in, got paper towels, cleaned it all up. Come back in, clean it up. I'm like, okay, let's get there. Grab my coffee, spill it all over my damn lap. It's amazing to me that there's still a couple drinks left in it. I'm sure people have had those kinds of days. I feel like we're doing that today. Sun's starting to come up in the St. Louis area. Still cloudy. Going to be around 59, 60 today. Still mild for the most part, but glad you guys are with us today and every day. Like, subscribe, share the show. Come on in. Let people know what we have going on. Lots of stories, lots of things to get to. That's for sure. News, sports, headlines, you name it. We get into it, and we appreciate you guys being there. If you ever want to give us a call, you can do that as well. Any stories you want to talk about, anything you want to promote, anything that we should hit or headlight or highlight with our radio headlights, 855-282 8255 855-282-8255. By the way, you can also check us out and all the information on our stations all the time at luinfo.com. Once again, that's luinfo.com. Bummed out what happened with the Blues last night. Okay, they played well. They did. I was like, they look good. Second, third periods, flying around, lots of opportunities. And for whatever reason, they get to overtime and they just can't seal the freaking deal. And they lose. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Final score was 3-2. And it's like, okay, they get a point. Thankfully, they get a point. And that's fine. That's great. We got a point. But in the end, they lost again. And you know what that means? They've now only won 3 of their last 15 games. 15. I'm like, no. Are we going through this again? 3 of their last 15 games. There's got to be a way for the Blues to break out of this, because then, when the bad starts to happen, it continues over and over and over again. And it is interesting too. And I love to promote, and we promote St. Louisans. We do. And we try to promote St. Louisans here. And we're going to continue to, because that's what we try to do. But I did find this interesting. And I had seen him. And I just love, we promote the St. Louisans. People are from here doing really good things. And I sent you something, Ryan. You can check on email, buddy. Right, if you get a chance. But last night, and we'll show that pic, okay, Ryan? The Blues were done in by a goalie who outlasted Jordan Bennington. That's right. And the kid that outlasted, and Jordan Bennington played really well last night. Many highlight saves. Had 26 stop shots. But a kid from St. Louis, a goalie from Darden Prairie, Joseph Wall, outplayed Bennington last night. He got the win for Toronto. He got the start against his hometown team. Craig Berube giving him that start last night. And he looked pretty good. John Tavares in overtime kept the puck in, the Blues in, did an outstanding job of working against not 1, not 2, but 3 Blues to keep the puck in, and eventually gets the game winner as they were able to come away with the victory. So they get the 2 points. The Blues do pick up 1 point. They're still right near the bottom of their division. That's not good. Kind of sad there. But they did some good things. They look like they're playing a whole lot better. The problem is they didn't get the win. And of course, you want the Blues to get the win. And then the more I watch, then I'm going, man, this goalie for Toronto is pretty darn good. He's having a good night. We've had some goalies from the St. Louis. Ben Bishop. Remember Ben Bishop with the Stars? He had a very, very good run. Now we have another tall goalie, Joseph Wall, another 6'4" kid, literally from St. Charles County, Garden Prairie, getting the best of the Blues last night.
Also, are you talking about that Callaway post?
The Callaway post?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I sent you a picture. I sent you a picture of Joseph Wall. That's all right. Maybe it didn't go through. I thought it shows it went through, but that's cool. We'll do that later.
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
It's all good. So when you look at the game stats, everything was pretty equal. This was the time that the Blues had a chance to beat Toronto. Toronto was missing two of their top players. And you're like, including their captain, Austin Matthews, their best player. You're like, okay, come on. Blues are going to get it tonight. They're playing well. They're starting their first road trip, first game of the 5-game road trip, get it off to a good start. And then it just didn't happen. Played well, but Joseph Wall had 29 saves on the night, or he had shots against. He had 28 saves, and he looked really good. Really good. So congrats to him. We've had a lot of really good kids from the St. Louis area doing well in the NHL. Of course, the Kachuk brothers as well. And several other players who are from the St. Louis area making their marks in the league. And it always seems like the St. Louis kids come back and haunt the Blues. It does. It just seems like it happens. I'll be curious to get Cam's opinion on that. That's for sure. Because, I want to see the kids do well, but I don't want to see them beat the Blues. I mean, this is pros, right? We can do what we want to do there. We can root for who we want to root for. But anyway, congrats to Toronto. Blues have the day off. They're in Philly tomorrow night. And Philly's a better team than Toronto. They're more healthy. We played Philly last week. Should have beat them about a week and a half ago. Had a really bad call at the end of the game that went against the Blues. So anyway, that put them in a bad spot. Right now, the Blues are 6-9-5 on the year. So they've got 5 overtime losses that could have gone a different direction. And say 3 of those 5. You pick up 3 more points, the Blues would be in a whole lot better position. But right now, they're not. They've played 20 games. So you're right at that quarter mark of the season. They've played 20 games. They've only won 6. That is not where you want to be. That's not where you need to be. And the other thing, when I look at the Blues, when it comes to who they are, what they're trying to be, their goal differential is something that is of concern too. Case in point, like Colorado, they're number 1 in the Western Conference. How about this? Right? They're 13-1. Hockey, 13-1 with 5 overtime losses. So 13-1, but they went to overtime 5. So they lost in overtime 5 other times, but they picked up a point each time. Their goal differential is plus 31, meaning of all the games that they've played, they've scored 31 more goals than they've given up. The Blues have the lowest goal differential in the entire Western Conference, minus 23.
Right.
So we keep waiting for them to turn it around.
Right now, they're worse than how the Cardinals were.
Like, you know what? To start the year, you're right.
Start the year, yeah.
Oh, no.
And they had Fetty. Man. I didn't think that was possible.
Oh, man. And we just keep telling ourselves it's early. It's the first quarter. And it just seems like they just haven't had much luck, the puck luck that they refer to. But I've always believed that you create your luck. I have always believed that. A coach told me that it's called preparation. It's called talent. It's called hard work. When it all comes together, that creates your luck. And it's just not happening for the Blues right now. So they'll play Philadelphia tomorrow night. Hopefully they'll get back on track. Once again, congratulations to Joseph Wall from Darden Prairie, the Toronto goaltender, who shut the door on the Blues with, what was it, 28 good saves. And then, of course, we'll hope and watch for the Blues tomorrow night, 6 o'clock start time in Philadelphia, and get them back on track. They just got to find some goal scorers. They're just not scoring goals, which is freaking frustrating. That's for sure. Hey, other news. I thought this was interesting, but St. Louis broadcaster, radio guy, McGraw-Milhaven, is going to have a new show beginning December 1st. He's going to host a nationally syndicated late night program called America at Night. He really is good. He's solid. He's been around for a long time. Cumulus Media's Westwood One is going to air his show live weeknights from 8 to 11 o'clock. He'll have news analysis, interviews, listener interaction. So he's been a morning host at the Big 550. Has some top-notch commentary. He's going to cover a wide range of topics, including politics, entertainment. If people didn't know, he's been on news outlets like CNN, Fox News, and NBC. So good for him. Good for him. Getting a chance to do some things from a national standpoint. Okay. Also, other news from the St. Louis area. It's like, what's going on here? Overnight, about 4 o'clock this morning. I mean, has anybody ever lost control of your car so much so that you almost ran into a building? Or has anybody driven into a building? God bless my grandma's soul. One time she was I think she was at the police station in Troy, Illinois. And instead of putting the car in reverse, she put it in drive.
Oh, yeah.
She went right through it. Oh, listen to me laugh about it. The man who just spilled coffee all over himself, not once, but twice in a matter of a minute, went right through the building or right into it. It's like, okay, Marge, I think it's time to take your license away. So this morning at about 4 a.m., it doesn't say if anybody was impaired driving this vehicle, but a single vehicle crash happened about 4 a.m. at the Mattress Firm in Brentwood, right there at the 1900 block of South Brentwood Boulevard. Sits right there in the corner. Driver lost control of the vehicle before crashing into the store. Fortunately, nobody was seriously injured. There was a report of a minor injury with one person. It literally occurred in the parking lot of the store, not impacting traffic, which is good. But we've all seen or heard of cars going into houses, businesses. I remember doing a story in Detroit, right, where a house sat in a corner. It got hit like 4 times in like 15 years.
Man.
Yeah, it was like, they're just like, we're just waiting for the next one. Those things can happen. Other headlines, news. Just the story gets a little bit more bizarre here. But 3 juveniles have been taken into custody for a bomb that exploded in Lake St. Louis Saturday night at 7:30. It was captured on surveillance cameras. There were 2 explosions. Police were able to track down 2 17-year-olds. Then they got another 17-year-old. And now, what's very, very interesting is they got a 4th suspect now, an 18-year-old from Baldwin. So 3 17-year-olds and now an 18-year-old from Baldwin with this DIY explosion. And it's pretty serious because they've charged this 18-year-old now with accessory to arson in the 2nd degree and accessory to property damage in the 1st degree. These bombs used with fire. They had mortar fireworks. Literally, they're IEDs. That's exactly what they were. And the 18-year-old said that he knew the bottles were full of animal urine, feces, vinegar, sauce packets. He said the group thought it would be funny if the victim opened the door of the house when the explosive went off and the liquid exploded all over the victim. That was the Sanders. No idea or what happened, if they had association with the house, the victims. There was damage. I mean, fortunately, nobody was hurt, because you start messing around thinking something's funny and you hurt somebody, it could be a whole different thing. The 18-year-old remains in police custody, where he's being held on a $20,000 cash-only bond. But Lake St. Louis police taking care of business very quickly from that situation from Saturday night. Also, what's going on in St. Louis City? We're talking about a trial that could permanently remove the sheriff. It's Alfred Montgomery. It was supposed to start yesterday, but it didn't, because he wasn't there. Okay. I mean, this trial stems from the Attorney General's ongoing quo warranto case, where they said he wasn't doing his job. The sheriff refused to resign, saying there wasn't evidence or means for him to resign. So Catherine Hanaway, the AG, is trying to remove him from office. But the judge said that they had to effectively proceed without Montgomery present. So they prompted the postponement. They couldn't go without him being there. So not quite sure why he wasn't there, but there's been a lot of controversy around this entire situation. So the trial is expected to last around a week once it begins. But who knows now, after he wasn't there? There's just more to that story that we don't know yet. Or at least I don't know. And as soon as we get that information, certainly we'll pass that along to you. Also, when it comes to the news headlines in St. Louis, Zillow is reporting that more than a third of homes in the metro area have lost value over the past year. The report shows that 38.2% of homes in St. Louis have declined in value over year to year. And despite this, only 2.8% of new listings in St. Louis are priced below what they were previously sold for. So most homeowners aren't selling for a loss. That's down 7%. That's down at least 7% from 2019. So another interesting thing, nationally, that number is 3.4%. That's up slightly 2.1% from a year ago, but still lower, I guess a lot lower than it was before the pandemic. Zillow's report also says that homes and houses in the St. Louis area are down 10.9% from their highest selling price, but also down from their peak, which doesn't mean homeowners are losing any money. And on average, St. Louis homes are still worth about 8% more than when they were last sold. So, there's some good news there. I thought this was interesting too. Nationwide, the average increase in a home's value since the last time it was sold is a staggering 67%. Let me repeat that for you. Nationwide, the average increase in a home's value since the last time it was sold is up 67%. It shows you the value, or at least what the value of homeownership has been. Experts in the industry are saying this is a sign of normalization, not a collapse. And homeowners shouldn't feel rattled when they see this estimate drop, that it's part of it. So they also said home values surged over the past 6 years, and the vast majority of homeowners still have some significant equity. And of course, real estate is big anywhere. It's big in the St. Louis area. It's big anywhere that you live around the country. And people want to know what's going on. It's an investment, and it's very, very, very serious, especially with ownership from that standpoint. So feel free to jump in on X, Facebook, YouTube, say hi, give your city a shout out, give whatever you want to give a shout out to. You can comment on stories that we're talking about today. You can do it on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Once again, that's X, Facebook, and YouTube. You go to Arch City Now, participate in the show. We love it when you do that. You can also give us a call if you so desire. The phone number there is 855-282-8255. Once again, that's 855-282-8255. We are your Lou Information Station. We are live and on demand at louinfo.com. You can check out a list of all the shows that we have there as well. And when we come back, we will talk about the college football playoff pairings. Missouri and Illinois, where do they sit? What's happening around the scape from there? Missouri with a big game in a couple days at OU, taking on their fourth top 10 team of the year. Four top 10 teams on their schedule. It's not an easy schedule. I look at, and I'll break it down for you, but you look at a schedule like Oregon has played, and it's very soft, very, very soft. A lot of teams ranked highly who played a soft schedule. It is what it is. Missouri's in the SEC. It's a big boy conference, and you got to play the big boys. 4 teams in the top 10. Good luck if you want to be a coach dealing with that. So we'll break down for that game coming up this week as well. Plus, we'll tell you what Rawlings is doing. It'll be an interesting drive-by when you're on 270 or Page, checking out Westport Plaza and what they're going to be putting on top of Westport Plaza to promote who they are and what they are. Very, very interesting, to say the least, from that standpoint. Also, news from Explore St. Louis, why they are scrapping some plans for downtown St. Louis, which is unfortunate. Plus, what the hell's going on in St. Louis County with an $82 million shortfall? And how's the county going to pay for all of that? Plus, we'll let you know when Motley Crue is going to be in St. Louis during 2026. Seems like a lot of bands, groups are making stops in St. Louis over the next year. All right, we'll take a break. We're your Lou Information Station. We're live and on demand at louinfo.com. Producer Rise alongside. I'm Vic Faust. This is Arch City Now. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Hey guys, what's up in your neck of the woods? Happy Wednesday, November 19th. It is 7:05. Glad you're with us today. We are Arch City Now. I am Vic Faust, producer Rise alongside. We take your calls at 855-282-8255. We also jump in and stream for you on X, Facebook, and YouTube. You can jump in with your comments. You can give shout outs for whatever you want to do when it comes to St. Louis. We've got your news headlines from the area. We've got your water cooler talk. We've got the interesting things that are happening in the sports world. Whatever you guys want to get into, we do that as well. Okay. A couple of things that we didn't get to in the first hour, which we're jumping in right now. It's Mizzou. Eli Drinkwitz talking about distractions, things of that nature when it comes to whether he's staying at Mizzou. He makes over $9 million a year. He's got a pretty good job. He's one of the top paid coaches in the country. Why would he leave? So forth, all of those things. Well, it is what it is. Mizzou has a big game this weekend at Oklahoma, a chance to give themselves an 8th win, which would be great. They're 7.5-point underdogs at Oklahoma. It will be no easy task. They have a very, very tough schedule, playing 4 teams that were ranked in the top 10 when they played them. That's tough. That is as tough as it gets, but that's the road that it is when you play in the SEC, the toughest conference by far in college football. So big game coming up Saturday for Mizzou. Eli really gave me an idea that he is planning on staying at Missouri. They're probably just working on a conference or a new contract. And that's what these coaches do. The agents put their names out there. They talk to other schools. And of course, you bump up your salary. That's how you do it. I thought this was interesting too. A lot of people are still trying to understand what name, image, and likeness is. NIL. Universities can take money from anybody and everybody to help promote their school.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I thought name, image, and likeness was the player.
It is about it's called NIL. That's about but everything kind of got branched under an umbrella.
Yeah, like
name, image, likeness is about the player. But now schools can take money from businesses and people, donations, and then use that for the NIL. A school can give you so much money. Yeah. Then the player can go get NIL money from other places.
Exactly.
It's a very confusing area as well because schools can also use the money outside of what they're supposed to be paying to pay the players. There's a total.
Exactly.
So Eli Drinkwitz brought up the fact Missouri's done well when it comes to paying players and being in the transfer portal. They have. But Drinkwitz reminded people yesterday Mizzou's done a good job at NIL, quote, but there's a misconception that Missouri's at the top. He says some places have unlimited NIL, unlimited. And we want to beat those teams.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It's been probably going on for years before it even happened.
Well, it did, but now it's legal.
So, yeah, now it's legal. That's
so he's asking businesses to step up.
Yeah. Come on, emos.
There's been, Fortune 500 companies in the state not giving any money.
Yeah.
Fortune 500 companies in the state of Missouri, in the St. Louis area, not showing up or giving any money to Mizzou. And that's their prerogative.
Yeah.
And that's fine. And if they don't want to help, they don't have to help.
Get us a win against a top 10 team. Drink.
Well, that's a good point. That is a very good point. But even that being the case, other states that are buying players have their Fortune 500 companies that are stepping up and giving money to the university for NIL. The Fortune 500 companies in Missouri are not, according to Eli, doing that. I repeat, they are not stepping up for our state school. Okay, it is what it is. They don't have to. But it is something that Missouri, if they want to continue the success that they're having in football, you've got to have the players. And I've often said that. And there's these Pollyanna guys that I do shows with, oh, no, it's about recruiting. Yeah, it's about recruiting, but it's about freaking show me the money. These kids and the families want to see the money. They do. If you have a stack of cash next to what you're saying, it's going to make what you're saying sound a whole lot better. That's how I operate. You got a stack of cash? Let me see your cash, and then you can give me your pitch. But if you're giving me your pitch without a stack of cash, it's not going to sound as good. So if Mizzou likes it, step on up. Mike Kelly, the voice of the Missouri Tigers, told us earlier this year, Missouri's done well with some of their corporations and the donations, but we're still at the bottom of the SEC when it comes to individuals donating money. Alumni and others who love the Tigers donating money to the university for the athletic program and or football. So just remember that if you're a Tiger that's complaining about who they are, what they're able to bring in, because other schools are bringing in top-notch players as well. Love talking about Missouri. Love talking about the running back, Ahmad Hardy, who I say is the best running back in America. I'll give you number 2 to a St. Louis and Jeremiah Love. I've known Jeremiah. I've known his dad for a long time. Known him since 8th grade. Jeremiah for Notre Dame, he's had a terrific year. He's 4th when it comes to total rushing yards, but they've also used him a little bit in the pass game. He's picked up a couple hundred more yards there. His total yards are more than Ahmad Hardy's. But when it comes to actual just straight running back, he's not Ahmad Hardy. Sorry. I think I heard somebody talking about him on radio somewhere recently. Oh, he's the Heisman. I'm like, really? Give me a break. He's not Ahmad Hardy. He's not Ahmad Hardy. And then you look at the schedule that Notre Dame has played compared to Missouri. Not even close. Not even close. They had Miami and Texas A&M at the start of the year. Miami is not some great school at stopping the run. I mean, Purdue, Arkansas, Boise State, NC State. I mean, USC. Give me a break. Boston College is terrible. Navy, Pitt. I mean, it's like, come on. Syracuse, Stanford. Must be nice playing that easy schedule. All I'm saying is Jeremiah's an awesome player. One of the best in America. But I would make a case that Ahmad Hardy should be considered if you're going to bring a running back for a Heisman. And I'm talking about Missouri's Ahmad Hardy. When you go straight running, Hardy's got 1,346 yards of rushing, 15 touchdowns, 6.8 yards a carry. I mean, it's interesting at what you think you've got, but I just love what Ahmad Hardy's done. And in a couple of the games, like Auburn, he had 25 carries for 58 yards. That wasn't great. But then he ran well against Vanderbilt when they used him, and he ran well against Alabama when they used him. And SEC teams as well. So anyway, Missouri's a 7.5-point underdog at Oklahoma Saturday at 11 o'clock. Go Tigers. We will see where they go from there. We'll break down the Blues more coming up at 7:30, just after 7:30, but they lost last night. Final score 3-2 in Toronto. Literally had a game that was there for the taking. They played well. They skated around. Jordan Bennington made a lot of really good stops, but in the end, they lose. Again, they've now just won 3 games in their last 15. We'll talk more about the Blues and what's next coming up for them. They did pick up a point, but that was it. That was it. You just hope that you can see a lot more coming up from the Blues on this road trip. They've got 4 more games in the road trip, opportunities for them to make some sort of stay as they go. Big story yesterday over at Ladue High School. I mean, listen, kids can get their hands on guns, knives, whatever, weapons. We've seen it. Fortunately, police were alerted that this kid may be bringing a gun to school. They watched him come into the parking lot over at Ladue, and apparently he saw police. He never even got out of his car. So police followed him to a nearby neighborhood where he pulled over. They eventually pulled him over in the neighborhood, searched the car, and found a gun. So that was a big to-do story yesterday in Ladue. The gun never, quote, actually made it into school, but there was a word that got out that he had it, and it was called on him. There was family, friends, whatever. But yeah, I mean, you see something like that happen, that can be a cause for concern, no doubt about it. When these things happen, But, you know, kids go through things, and the last thing you want to see is something like that or hear about something like that happening. But the kid was arrested, and the situation was taken care of as it should have been, because he brought it onto campus. The district only said that police notified administrators of a student that may be coming to school with a weapon. So they had some sort of heads up. Maybe the kid said something. Maybe it was going on. Maybe it was a parent. You never know. But just to make sure that the full story was out there, that's what was done. And the gun was never shown to anybody on campus. He just had it with him in his vehicle. And yeah, that could make parents be a little concerned. Because these things can happen. You've just got to, if you see something, you hear something, you've got to report it, even if it seems minimal, because you never know how you might be able to help somebody or do something. So that's what happened over at Ladue High School yesterday from that standpoint. How about this in some better news? Rawlings, which is a massive St. Louis company, Baseball Rawlings, is going to put a gigantic gold baseball glove on top of Westport Plaza. Pretty darn cool. So you got the Rawlings experience over there. Rawlings does all kinds of business. So they're going to put this massive glove on top of Westport Plaza. So you'll be able to see it as you're driving by. It's a 35,000-pound baseball glove that'll be on top of the Maryland Heights building today. So what they're going to do is they're bringing in one of the world's largest cranes, and they're going to put the baseball glove on its final resting spot. And that's no easy task. Let me tell you that when it comes to using a crane of that nature, and you're lifting a 35,000-pound object. It's going to be settled onto a heavy-duty steel structure at the top of the gold tower. I think it's pretty cool. Put it on top of the building. We'll see how big it is, what it looks like. It's 35,000 pounds. That's for sure. And Rawlings, which is still doing very well, a lot of business. Trying to give St. Louis another maybe attraction site as you're driving through. But I like the idea. It's kind of cool thing here in St. Louis. I was looking at some of the pictures, but that's something that you can look at. By the way, Rawlings, if you didn't know, is valued at approximately about $370 million in revenue per year. They've been valued as high as $380 million as I was doing some research. And if people didn't know, they specialize in manufacturing and marketing of sporting goods, baseball, and softball equipment. And they have a significant sports presence when it comes to equipment in the market. And it's a St. Louis company. Been around forever. Ever. Of 100 and almost 130 years. Big, 200 employees in the St. Louis area, about 1,500 globally. So kind of a cool thing about St. Louis promoting our own. Glad to see it. That's a very, very cool thing. So while you have that going on, which is pretty cool, one other thing that, is not so great, and we want things for the city, and we talk about it all the time, but Explore St. Louis is now doing away with their plans for America Center Convention Complex. What they were going to do was they had a proposed plaza that would have been located down there at America Center Convention Complex, but now the parking lot is going to remain a parking lot. They were going to build an outdoor plaza, and it was going to be right between 9th and 10th Streets, right off the Convention Plaza Drive, but they've been dropped, unfortunately. That's the news that came out. So what happened? Well, they said it's no longer necessary. Now that a ballroom originally planned for the convention center second phase of the expansion is not going to be built. This is not the kind of news we want to report. We want to add things. We want to give attractions. We want to be able to do some of those things. But right now, it's not going to be that case. So the block between 9th and 10th Streets, where the proposed plaza would have been located, is going to stay at that parking lot. It's going to be fenced in. Lighting is going to be added, and charging for electric vehicles as well. Now, there's a phase 2 of the convention center's expansion. That was expected to include the plaza, a ballroom, and a new concourse. A kitchen upgrade was also planned, but that's not going to happen right now. Phase 1, which added new loading docks and an exhibit hall, is complete. So I guess they'll keep us posted. I know that the convention center was supposed to get at America Center some money, some RAM settlement money. Not quite sure what's happening with that right now, but you do have some of those issues that are going on. You've also got an issue with St. Louis County because more and more talk is now happening. One, how did it happen? Two, how are you going to change it? St. Louis County's $82 million budget shortfall. $82 million shortfall. So now you're talking about cuts. What kind of cuts? What needs to be done? How are you going to take care of this situation? Somehow, some way, St. Louis County is $82 million in the hole. I mean, you've got the county council considering cuts to health and police. I mean, it looks like anything is right there on the chopping block because they have to figure out how to take care of this issue. I mean, you literally had County Councilwoman Rita Day saying how dire the situation is. I mean, she said it could get worse, but she's like, that's the worst she's ever seen it. St. Louis County in the worst situation financially that they have ever been in regards to paying for basic services. You're talking about an $80 million budget hole. That's roughly $60 million gap for what's known as the county's general fund. And you're talking about key departments as well. They've had a structural deficit for years, but not like this. And, County Executive Sam Page wants to use a combination of budgetary reserves and St. Louis Rams settlement money just to pay for a deficit. So now you have debate on what should be used in regards to this. Page has suggested placing a use tax, which is essentially a tax on online sales, on the ballot next year. So I don't know. I don't know. It's unfortunate that we're in this situation somehow, some way. Was St. Louis mismanaged? What's going on with it? Why are we in the budget shortfall that we are right now? You've also got Sam Page wanting to use Rams money for the animal shelter. Is that appropriate? Is there a better use of the money? There's a lot of things that they could do that they're going to have to figure out how to do this. Because once again, if you pay for it this year, what's to say you're not going to have a budget shortfall next year? And there's a lot of debate, and I mean a lot of debate right now about who's right, who's wrong, why are we in the situation that we're in right now, and why is this going to continue to happen? I don't know. We're going to see. There's also concerns about using one-time funding for ongoing services. Meaning, is that throwing good money at a bad situation that's not going to change if you continue the services moving forward? They've got unfinished projects. They need to seek new revenue sources to maintain services and improve the county's financial health. How are they going to do it? And why are they in the situation they're in now? A lot of issues in St. Louis County when it comes to money that we may not realize when it comes to services unless it's your job or your loved one's job that's under fire. But an $82 million shortfall right now, not what we want to be talking about in St. Louis County. Not at all. Not at all. These things should be, it should be a whole lot different when it comes to what we see going on. All right. Which makes me think about better news. August 19th, Motley Crue coming back to St. Louis. Hollywood, Casino, Amphitheater. All right. Rye, I want to bring you into the show. My young Rye guy. This may sound stupid to listeners, but do you know who Motley Crue is? And that's fine because I don't know your rap groups or your entertainers and singers.
Like, I've heard of them.
You've heard of them. That's cool. That's fine. It's all good. I prefaced what I said. I told you I've tried to listen to rap music for about 8-9 years. I cannot get into it. Old school rap, much better. My 80s stuff, even into the 90s. The stuff now to me is absolutely insane or absurd. It's insane to me. I try. I couldn't tell you all that. I know it's, but the difference between me and others is I try and I'm like literally listening to it and I will listen and I will put it in and I will try to like it and I can't.
Like, you used to like the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah.
That's how the people are. That's how a lot of the unks are now anyway.
Yeah. And I try though. And newer people, newer ages, like your son, my kids, will try to listen to music that I listen to. Even EDM stuff. I got one daughter kind of likes it. Don't like it. Don't like it. Don't listen to it.
EDM, that's that ding, ding, ding.
Like dance music too, but not all EDM. The Motley Crue's coming, baby.
EDM's cool. I went to for like Drake relays. They play a lot of EDM and stuff too. I like it.
Well, so there's we've got so there's other groups that are coming to St. Louis this year. I just figured I was wondering if you knew who Motley Crue was coming back into the Lou. So that's kind of cool. I was looking for something to make me feel a little bit better after reading some of the stories that I was reading when it came to St. Louis and some of those things that are going on. We'll talk about the Blues when we come back. We'll talk about what Zillow says with your real estate investments in your homes when it comes to keeping track, where people are moving to in 2026. That's the most popular destinations where people are moving to. I thought it's pretty interesting. Some of the other news headlines that we have happening around the area, we get into that. Also, what's going on this morning, we talked about the Rawlings situation. And let me see here. And then, of course, what's happening with the St. Louis Sheriff with our wonderful news all over the place. So anything else you guys want to jump in and talk about, let us know. We'll do that. We appreciate you guys being around to do that too. So like, subscribe, share the show. You can jump in on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Shout outs are accepted as well. We are your Lou information station and we are live and on demand at louinfo.com. Producer Rise alongside I'm Vic Faust, back with more of Arts right after this. Hey guys, welcome back into the show. It is Wednesday, November 19th. This is Arch City Now. Vic Faust here, producer Ryan alongside as well. You can stream us all the time at X, or at least on X, Facebook, and YouTube at Arch City Now. You can also call us, as always, 855-282-8255. Once again, that's 855-282-8255. We love it when you guys jump in, like, subscribe, share the show, promote anything and everything when it comes to St. Louis. We'll talk about it. You can jump in and do that on Facebook, as we were talking about. You can give us your comments there. You can do it on X as well, as we continue to promote everything St. Louis, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Glad you're with us. Hot Take Central 2.0, by the way, follows us. The former Blue Cam Jansen and Cardinals broadcaster Jim the Cat Hayes bring you every day from 8 to 10 o'clock a.m. And then on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, today being a Wednesday, you've got Grant Salzman with the MIZ STL show. I join him on Mondays for that. Lots to get into when it comes to Mizzou with today, especially with Eli Drinkwood's press conference yesterday. Is Bo Perbula going to come back this week? Would he be back next week, possibly? When he is healthy enough to play, he will be the starter. That was confirmed yesterday by Eli Drinkwitz. He also talked about how Missouri needs to step up when it comes to NIL money for their football players. Not kidding. He says we do a good job, but there are schools that have unlimited NIL money, and those are schools that are on our schedule that we play as well. And I'm telling you, you can be a great coach, but you've got to have players first that you can work with. Yes, the coaching can help, but you've got to have the players as well. Also, with Eli talking about his future with Missouri. And, of course, Ahmad Hardy, now that a lot of Heisman talk is out there, for the Final Five. If you're going to bring anybody outside of a quarterback, when you look at the numbers that Ahmad Hardy has put up, he's going to be the guy. He's got to be the guy. The only other person that I would even put close to Ahmad Hardy would be Jeremiah Love from St. Louis and CBC, who's at Notre Dame. And that's only because he's able to be used in the passing game as well. His total yards this year are a little bit higher than Ahmad Hardy, but when it comes to a straight running back, Ahmad Hardy's the best by far. And yeah, he only had 58 yards on 25 carries against Auburn. But in the other games, Vanderbilt played, and when he was used, he played well. Texas A&M, when he was given the ball, he did well. And, of course, what he saw against other SEC teams, too. So Grant Salzman will get into all of that on the MIZ STL show today from 10 to 11 o'clock following Hot Take Central 2.0. Plus, you've got Charlie Toon in the posse today, every Monday through Friday, like we talk about, 11 to 1, covering all things around the St. Louis area. News headlines, things from that standpoint as well. News headlines that we talked about today. About 4 a.m. this morning, somehow, some way, a vehicle lost control, ran right into the mattress store. It's like, huh? What? That's down there in Brentwood. I think it was the 900 block. Yeah, South Brentwood. Fortunately, nobody was seriously injured. There were some injuries to one person after they ran into the building, which we were talking about. So thankfully, that's been taken care of this morning, and it didn't affect traffic in any way because it happened back in the parking lot. So those things happened this morning. If you heard some of the updates there. Also, when it comes to some of the things that were going on, the trial that could permanently remove St. Louis Sheriff Alfred Montgomery from office postponed to today because Montgomery wasn't present in court yesterday. Not quite sure how that's allowed, but it happened. All over a case to remove him from office for, quote, nefarious activity by the Attorney General of the state of Missouri. It was postponed till today at 9 o'clock. Could take about a week, figure all this stuff out. He's refusing to leave office, says there's no basis for him to quit or resign. Federal officials say efforts to transport Montgomery from custody to court were unsuccessful. I don't know what that means. Federal authorities were unable to get him to court yesterday. So you can let your mind go there. Just another one of these wild, crazy stories from the city of St. Louis that gets national headlines, and it's not necessarily positive. The judge did say the hearing could effectively proceed without Montgomery present, prompting the postponement. So we'll see what happens today. And, of course, have an update for you tomorrow when we find out what happens. But it could take about a week once it begins. And we're not sure how the timeline's going to be affected after Montgomery had his absence yesterday. But all in all, it's another interesting situation, to say the least, of what's happening in the city. Okay, we were talking about this a little bit earlier. The Blues lost last night. You get it? Okay, it is what it is. They've only won 3 games in their last 15. They're not in a great state right now. They're just 6-9-5 on the season. They have 17 points. They only lost by a goal last night, but the goal differential is the worst in the Western Conference. Some people may think it's a big deal. Some people may not. But when you're the worst in that category and it's negative, that's not good. Minus 23 goals. They have 17 points. Nashville has one less point. They're 6-10-4. One overtime loss separated them from being last in their division. So it's the Blues, the Predators, and the Calgary Flames, sort of the 3 worst teams right now in the Western Conference. Blues are on a 5-game road trip. They lost to Craig Berube last night. And Toronto was without a couple of their big guns. I mean, Austin Matthews, their captain, best player, didn't play. Missing another good player. I mean, I thought that if the Blues were their best chance on this road trip, that was last night. I thought it was at least get off to a good start. It's like, man, they lose 3-2. Bennington actually played pretty well. But Joseph Wall, kid from Darden Prairie, grew up a huge Blues fan. And how many times have we seen ex-St. Louisans being thorns in the side of St. Louis Blues games? Joseph Wall, congratulations. Grew up a big Blues fan, had a really good night for Toronto. He got the start. Berube put him in net. Great call to have him play. And he played well. He didn't disappoint. 28 saves? Something like last night, beats Jordan Bennington in overtime. I mean, he didn't score the goal, but he's the one that came up with the shots. And at the end of the night, there you go. You had it. Literally. The Blues losing in overtime again. Toronto takes it. Final score there was 3-2. And it's like, okay, back to the drawing board. St. Louis will be tomorrow night in Philadelphia for a rematch of a skate that happened, about a week and a half ago, a game the Blues should have won. There was some controversy at the end of it, but oh well. It is what it is. So Blues get back to action tomorrow night from that standpoint. All right, when it comes to real estate in the St. Louis area, Zillow had a report that might look concerning on the outside, but you have to really look within the numbers. Their latest report shows that just under 40% of St. Louis homes have declined in value over the past year. Despite this, though, 2.8% of the new listings in St. Louis are priced below what they previously sold for. So most homeowners aren't selling for a loss. In 2019, 7% were selling at a loss. So that's a better trend. Nationally, the number is 3.4%, up slightly from 2.1% a year ago. But it's still lower than what it was before the pandemic. So what does it mean? Well, there was another thing that Zillow said, another issue bringing up St. Louis, and it's this, that homes in St. Louis are down 10.9% from their highest selling price, but also down from their peak. Doesn't mean that homeowners are losing money. On average, the St. Louis homes are still worth about 8% more when they were last sold. So that's a good number. And when you look at this, it's interesting as well. Nationwide, the average increase in a home's value since the last time it was sold staggering 67%, showing the value of homeownership clearly. So not too shabby, not from that standpoint. Okay. Rye, you're our deal guy. You're the fast food guy, the restaurant guy. Whenever you find deals, you pass them along. I have not been a big Taco Bell fan of my life. What about yourself?
Oh, Taco Bell has been a staple in my life since I was a youngin'. But
is it real food?
No. It's not healthy for you at all. It's terrible for you. And since I've started like working out and trying to eat healthier, I've cut it out a little bit. But I just want to let you guys know, a double beefy burrito. Oh, it's so good. And you have to make sure they toast it.
Okay. Well, a person by the name of Sandra competed in a contest that Taco Bell had. They invited customers to submit their own fan-made spins on their menu items. 40,000 submissions came in. And Sandra from Missouri, her idea for the Cantina Craze earned a spot on Taco Bell's national menu starting November 20th. So what she created, so the Cantina Craze is a twist on the Cantina Chicken Crispy Taco. I've never had one. So
Mid.
Okay, mid. It adds creamy jalapeno sauce, lettuce, tomatoes,
Extra.
and a little sour cream.
So you just made it a deluxe.
Whatever it is, they liked it. She's one of the 3 winners.
Shout out to her.
So her quote creation, or most of life, is making products better, making things better. She said she's been eating Taco Bell since she was a kid. Never imagined that her idea would make it this fun. She said, quote, I usually go for beef, but one day I tried the new Cantina Chicken Crispy Taco and started swapping in my own toppings just to see what would happen. I didn't expect it to end up on the national menu. My friends and family are going to flip when they see it. So somebody else from Michigan and Kentucky both won. The California Crunch Wrap and Burrito Bliss will also make their nationwide debuts coming up. So the Cantina Chicken Crispy Taco with her new sauce, the jalapeno sauce, is going to be used. So congratulations to Sandra. Missouri getting some hype when it comes to the situation that we have going on there. Taco Bell, Dago Bagne, congrats to them. I know. Have you ever thought about what you would make better over there?
Oh, I make stuff better all the time there. I add, what is it? My phone's about to die, but let me see. It's
what do you mean when it comes to
Taco Bell? Like, what do I add to a Taco Bell?
Or anything? What would you add? Is there anything, or would that be something you'd have to figure out?
Well, to my I know for my cheesy double beef burrito, I add onion.
Okay.
I add onion, and I also, instead of where is it? Sometimes I add pico to it, but that's like a little rare thing.
I got you. Well, I mean, you get some of these ideas. People have ideas, and it's like, okay, all right, whatever you want to do, you just let us know. We'll figure that out. By the way, I wanted to give a shout out to some of the high school. We told you we'd give you some of the high school games, high school football games taking place this weekend. Districts were decided last week, and we still got some teams that are playing. For example, Lift for Life, local school playing against Dexter. So good luck to Lift for Life. They'll play Saturday. Then you've got Festus and Sullivan. That's a 1:00 game. Looks like St. Mary's and Parkway North. That's a Friday night game. You're working though, aren't you? Do you have an East St. Louis football game Friday?
I think Eastside plays on Saturday.
Oh, because I was like, I don't know if you'd be able to go check out your St. Mary's crew and St. Mary's and Parkway North.
It's at St. Mary's too?
I think it's at St. Mary's.
I don't know. Actually, I was just at that field, but I haven't been to that field for a game in a minute. So
Looks like Kirkwood would be at Farmington, 1 p.m. on Saturday. Zumwalt North playing at Cardinal Ritter, 1 p.m. That looks like that's Saturday. So some other games. CBC would have to go to Jackson. Looks like Fort Zumwalt West at Pattonville. That would be a 1 o'clock game as well. So anyway, I wanted to make sure that people had that information out there for the high school scene and what we started to see come down the pipeline. College football rankings came out last night, the playoff rankings. And, no real surprises, I guess, when you look at things. People get excited. Ohio State's 1, Indiana 2, Texas A&M 3, and Georgia 4. So then you have Texas Tech, who's 5, Ole Miss, who's 6, Oregon 7, Oklahoma moves up to 8. They're 8-2, so they move up to 8. Notre Dame 9 and Alabama 10. Not that it matters at this point in time, but there's no way in hell Notre Dame should be ahead of Alabama, especially when you look. I mean, this is why people get upset with Notre Dame. It's because they get a free pass so much of the time. They don't operate under the same rules. And I have nothing against Notre Dame. Not at all, nothing. But if something's not right or fair, it needs to be called out. They get to operate in an unfair situation with their schedule. They have an easy schedule. You put Notre Dame in the SEC this year and you give them Missouri schedule, they have 3-4 losses already. They do. They have 3 losses at least. And maybe their 4th coming up this Saturday. If they were playing Oklahoma at Oklahoma this Saturday. So why they're ahead of Alabama, I have no idea, especially when you look at the wins. But they are. So whatever. 9 and 10. They're both 8-2. We know that there's some things in life that people get free passes. And Notre Dame gets a free pass a lot of the time. They just do. And if I've upset you, I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. Let's talk about the 2 schedules with Alabama and Notre Dame and the wins. And then we'll go from there. BYU is at 11, Utah at 12. Okay. We'll see where all of this goes and what's happening with the rest of the schedule. But I did like, Texas dropped down to 17. Illinois at 21 at 7-3, Missouri at 22. I mean, neither one of those schools have a chance, but, it's still kind of fun to talk about. The problem is for the sports fans out there, the group of 5 selection, who's that going to be? Is it going to be Tulane? I mean, I don't know. That's why the group of 5 shouldn't get they need to be, there's got to be another way to do this because let's be real. No group of 5 team has earned a right to compete in the playoffs this year. They just haven't, not with the schedule that they play.
Yeah, my group of 5 team that I wanted to win, will not win, but make it to the college football playoff was Memphis.
Yeah.
But yeah,
not anymore.
You lose the UAB, it's like,
exactly.
I don't really like it. I think it should be something different for sure.
Yeah, that makes 2 of us. Also, I saw this was kind of interesting too. This was just sent to me, and I appreciate it. You never know what you're going to get sent. We ask you guys to participate and let us know some of the things that are happening in the area, and then we'll go to it. We'll try to jump in and see what's happening when it comes to this. But, okay. Wow. A St. Charles County judge has agreed to resign in 2 years after wearing Elvis wig and politicking in court. Okay. Judge Matthew Thornhill admitted to wearing an Elvis wig in court and discussing his political campaign, among other misconduct. So he's agreed to resign his post within 2 years as punishment for wearing an Elvis wig on the bench, playing Elvis music during the swearing in of litigants, and discussing his political campaign in the courtroom. Oh my gosh. I actually know Judge Thornhill. 11th Circuit Court Judge Matthew Thornhill agreed to a unanimous disciplinary recommendation, which must still be approved by the Missouri Supreme Court, that he would be suspended for 6 months without pay, after which he may return as a judge for just 18 months. Then he must resign. You can't wear your damn Elvis wig in court. Judge Thornhill responded in a letter addressed to the Supreme Court that the allegations are substantially accurate and acknowledged the commission would prove the violations. Maybe he wanted to be fired. Maybe he wanted to have to resign. Maybe he'd had enough. Sometimes you reach the end. According to the commission, on Halloween, he did this. So he did this on Halloween. He wore an Elvis wig into the courtroom and repeatedly made irrelevant references to Elvis over his song lyrics during court proceedings. He also asked litigants and witnesses if they wanted to be sworn into Elvis music and played music while entering the courtroom or performing other court business. Okay. I love it. Another fun St. Louis, St. Charles County story. All right. We wish you the best there, Judge Thornhill. And I guess he said he's done. He said they never impact a decision he never impacted a decision by dressing as Elvis. Okay. What a show. You just never know what you're going to get around here. We appreciate you guys jumping in today. That's for sure. Happy go lucky, George Thornhill. Thank you for sending that in, Ben. I appreciate it. By the way, we'll see what happens. The Rawlings Gold Glove, the 35,000-pound Gold Glove, going to be put on top of Westport Plaza today. If you're driving by and wonder what's going on with one of the world's largest cranes being brought in to put that on top of the facility, on top of the Gold Tower, now you know. That's where Rawlings headquarters is. It's about a $380 million company. So, I don't know. It'll be an interesting sight, to say the least, if you're driving over there off Page or 270. You maybe see it, over there. You get over there in that area. But anyway, thanks for joining us today, guys. We're out of here. Arch City Now. Producer I am Vic Faust. Have a great day. Stay positive. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 a.m.